Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 8 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 8 math, and the lessons we're going to cover today are we're going to cover the chapter data and graph. The lessons we're going to cover today are interpret tables, interpret bar graphs, create bar graphs, and interpret line graphs. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important definitions as well. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is interpret tables. A theme park developer recorded the number of people who visited the local water park last summer. How many people are there in all? You need to calculate the total people, so you need to calculate all the frequencies, right? So there are 2 plus 20 plus 4 plus 1. So the correct option is 27. So there are 27 people in all. Let's just start with the test questions. Let's see how do we read the tables. In considering whether to open a new branch, the city council examined the number of times some typical residents went to the library last month. How many people are there in all? So you need to calculate the total people. So you need to calculate all the frequency values, right? They are 9 plus 5 plus 2 plus 14. So which is the correct option? Option number 1 is the correct option. All sum of all the values is that. Mr. Kemp, the marine biology teacher, asked his students how many times they went to the beach last summer. How many students went to the beach fewer than 2 times? So fewer than 2 times means you have 1 and 0. That is 8 plus 3 equals 11. So that means 11 students went to the beach fewer than 2 times. The correct option is option number 2, that is 11 times. Lara figured out the score at the end of our card game. Which score did the greatest number of people receive? The greatest frequency value is 20, right? And 7 is the score that greatest number of people receive, right? So the correct option is 7. Option number 1 is the correct option. The students in Mr. Maxine's class recorded the number of siblings that each has. How many student has more than two siblings? So you need to add all the values that are more than two. More than two means you need to add 3, 4, 5, 0, 19, and 15. 19 plus 15 is the correct option is 34. Option number 1 is the correct option. The next one is a grocery store chain tracked the number of trips people made to its store last week. How many people went to the grocery store exactly 5 times last week? So, which is the correct option? That is 14. Option number 2 is the correct option. To better understand library usage patterns, a librarian figured out how many books were checked out by some patrons last year. How many patrons checked out at least 4 books? At least 4. So you have to add 4 and 5. So 20 plus 18 is 38. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is interpret bar graphs. Let's just start with the lesson. After a trip to the zoo, the students in Mr. Harrington's science class voted for their favorite animals. How many children voted for giraffes? How many children? Here is giraffes. So 30 girls and no, 30 boys and 70 girls voted for the giraffes, right? So 70 plus 30 is 100. So that means 100 children voted for giraffes. Let's just start with the test questions. A farmer recalled how many watermelons were harvested in the past 4 days. On which day were the most watermelons harvested? So that is the longest bar, 90. So that means on Saturday, 90 watermelons are harvested. So the correct option is Saturday. Option number 1 is the correct option. Ronald wrote down how many pages he read over the past 3 days. How many pages in total did Ronald read on Tuesday and Monday? So, which is the correct option? Tuesday and Monday. So, you need to add the pages Ronald read on Tuesday and Monday, right? So, on Tuesday, he read 50 pages, and on Monday, 85 it is. So, 85 plus 50 is 135 pages. The correct option is option number 1. That is 135 pages. Olivia graphed the daily high temperature for 4 days. How much warmer was it on Tuesday than on Thursday? On Tuesday it is 15 degree and on Thursday it is 10 degree. So that means Tuesday is 5 degrees more warmer than Thursday. Option number 1 is the correct option. An interior designer wrote down the pieces of various items at several wholesale furniture dealers. Does a living room at does a living room set cost more than couches and more or Wendy's furniture? Here is Wendy's furniture, right? That is couches and more. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, a cable company analyst paid attention to how many new customers it had each day. On which day did the cable company have the fewest new customers? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is Tuesday. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is create bar graphs. Let's just start with the test questions. At soccer practice, Dan made 8 goals on Wednesday, 6 goals on Thursday, 1 goal on Friday, and 1 goal on Saturday. Use this data to complete the bar graph below. Click to set the height of the missing bar. So you have to match the on Wednesday, 6 goals on Thursday, 1 goal on Friday, and 1 goal on Saturday. So option number 1 is the correct option, right? Just match these bars with the given data. So option number 1 is the correct option. Daryl, an employee at Shen's convenience store, looked at the sales of each of its soda products. Use the data in the table to complete the bar graph below. Click to set the height of the missing bar. 190, 190, and 150. Option number 2 is the correct option. Option number 2 is the correct option. At an apple orchard, 60 apples were picked on Monday, 20 apples were picked on Tuesday, 40 apples were picked on Wednesday, and 80 apples were picked on Thursday. 60 apples on Monday, 20 apples on Tuesday, 40 apples on Wednesday, and 80 apples on Thursday. So option number 2 is the correct option. Here we have 80 apples. The counselor's office at Belleville High School track the number of students in each class. Use the data in the table to complete the bar graph below. 35 and 15, 40 and 30, 40 and 40, 25 and 35. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is interpret line graphs. Let's just start with the next lesson. Spencer, a doctor's office receptionist, tracked the average waiting time at the office each month. Which month had the shortest average waiting time? That is September. Here is the shortest waiting time. That is September. Let's just start with the test questions. A dry cleaner in Blue Point kept track of how many men and women customers he had each day. How many men were customers on Sunday? How many men were customers on Sunday? Here is Sunday. Men. 80. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 80 men. At the end of each month, Kenneth received a statement showing the balance of his saving account. In which month on the graph was Kenneth's saving account balance the lowest? Lowest is 50, and that is on May. Option number 2 is the correct option. Spencer, a doctor's office receptionist, tracked the average waiting time at the office each month. Which month had the shortest average waiting time? So, which is the correct option? That is on September. The correct option is September. Mr. Melton recorded the amount he spent on gas each month to see if it could be cheaper to take the train to work. How much did Mr. Melton spend on gas in March? So here is March. That is $70. Option number 1 is the correct option. For a science project, students in Mr. Mason's class displayed the amount of rainfall in Hilo, Hawaii on a bar graph. Which is the driest month of on the graph? Which is the correct option? June. Option number 2 is the correct option. The drama department recorded how long the annual school play lasted each year. The correct option is in which year did the school play last exactly 80 minutes. So, which is the correct option? 2015 is the correct option. During monthly visits to the veterinarian, Peanut's weight was recorded. In which month did Peanuts reach 20 kilograms? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is February. Option number one is the correct option. The Springdale Post Office monitors the average wait times for its services. How long was the average wait for a passport photo on Monday? The passport photo is green line, and on Monday that is 45 minutes. The correct option is option number two is the correct option. Okay, we are done with the lesson. So we were working on the grade 8 math. The chapter we were working on is data and graphs. The lessons we have covered today are interpret tables, interpret bar graphs, create bar graphs, and interpret line graphs. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. The lessons we have covered today are so please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. If you need more help with any of the lesson, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write down the questions in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So you can please ask questions if you have any. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session.